Welcome. Today I'm going to be answering all your van life questions and just questions in general. I have a little notepad. It's all written down. Actually, don't look at my handwriting. Do you want to know a fun fact? I already tried to film this yesterday at a bar at a beach club, and pretty much I drank too much. The filming just went. Anyway, if you're new, my name's Amy, short for Annalise. This is my animal, Gigi. We live full-time in this van that I built. What van do I have? I have a 2014 Ford Transit. She's a sexy beast. She's a medium wheelbase, high rooftop, and yeah, she is perfect for me. What's really great about medium wheelbase vans is I can fit into any kind of normal parking space, which I know that my parents struggle with because they live in a van too and they have a long wheelbase and they're always kind of, just sticking out in the road a bit. Do I live in my van full time? Yeah, I live in my van full time. My parents live in their van full time. It's a lifestyle, I'm very used to it and I love it. Moving on. If you didn't know, I built my van myself. If you want to watch the video, go for it. It's majestic. One, I couldn't afford to buy a camper van outright. Motorhomes are so expensive, even the old ones. And if you want someone to build you one, even more. I did not have the money to do that. My van cost me about $3,500 to convert, and I got the van on a loan. So I did it the cheapest way I could do it. Also, I wanted to challenge myself and I wanted to travel and know that if anything went wrong in the van, if my lights go out, if the battery needs replacing, if there's a leak, I know exactly how to fix it. And that is a wonderful feeling. Okay, question number 3, why do I live in a van? I've already done a video on this quite a while back, but pretty much to sum it up, I feel like the freedom and fun of existence has been sucked out of life by everything, especially due to the amount of bills we have to now pay just to exist. I'm not about that lifestyle, so I live in a vehicle instead. I've never had a particularly conventional housing situation. I've lived in a few different places, including a caravan and like a lodge in the garden. I haven't really had a fixed house since I was about 13, so living in a van made complete sense to me. Do I have a toilet in my van? I showed in my van tour I have a toilet. I've pretty much just thrown that because I hate it. I now just use a bucket. When I need a shit, I get a bag, do it in here. There are public toilets. There's nature. Living in a van forces you to be a bit more survivalist, let's say. So, I know there's composting toilets and other things. They're about $1,000, so I was like, no, but I'm sure they're very much worthwhile if you can afford one. So when I first started van life, my initial plan was to travel in the UK and know that I could go and work back on food trucks when I needed the money to keep me going in order to be able to work on YouTube. But I ended up coming here with my parents instead because of COVID, so I ended up using a lot more of my savings than I planned. So when I came over here, I needed another job. I started thinking about social media, and in the meantime I was selling bracelets online to kind of keep me going. So I continued to sell bracelets on Etsy whilst I was here. It was a nightmare. Trying to post stuff abroad is just not fun. Now I earn money off YouTube and that kind of thing. Van life isn't very expensive. I don't have to have 20 million subscribers to be able to stay on the road. Also, I have PayPal donations and I just started a Patreon. So if you've done that, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I haven't traveled very much in the last month, so my monthly costs are very minimal. I mean, You can live van life for like £400 a month if you want to. You can live it for less if you want to. That's the beauty of van life. You choose how much you want to spend. Unless your van breaks down, which is a high possibility. Okay, good question. How am I able to stay in France after Brexit? I have French nationality, as well as obviously British. I'm lucky my grandma was French, so I'm French too, which means I can stay here for as long as I want. For the next question, do I have someone filming me? Absolutely. Myself. It's just me, people. I film and edit my own videos. I spend the whole week doing that. I just use iMovie, nothing special. I don't have any experience with filming or editing. I haven't studied anything. You know, my A-levels were psychology, biology, and French. French did touch a little bit on French cinematography. That's the only thing I would say, but it was more just watching a film. I'm just very much creative and I just create. At the moment I use this little guy. It's a DJI. It's brilliant for getting really professional looking shots. I have a Canon M50 which I use. It's not the best for any kind of cinematography, but it's what I have, so. I walk around like a cart horse, don't worry. I might put in a few clips just to kind of show you what I do to film. Cuisine asked my future plans. Am I gonna travel? Yes, I am gonna travel. We're gonna go on some major road trips together. It's gonna be fun. I've got one coming up soon, but I'm gonna stay here just a little bit longer. But yeah, we're gonna be going to some places. It's gonna be fun. But I definitely want the south of France to be my home base because I essentially don't have one. Okay, Texan 1845 asked, were you born in the area you are living in now, and have you been to the States? No, I haven't been to the States. I'd love to go to the States because that's kind of where all the van lifers are. However, I do love Europe and I do love the south of France. So I was born in London, but I was raised in a little village that's pretty boring. Yeah, that's pretty much that. That's why I'm here and not there. Also, for my van build, what was the best resource that I found to use? This guy on YouTube, I can't even tell you, he saved me. He's the only person who will explain things as simply as they are. Like, all the other van people are like, oh yeah, just do this, do this, do this. Oh, just do this. No, he actually explains it. He put a beautiful map out. His name's Greg Virgo. He's the only reason I knew what to do with the electrics and the plumbing. He kind of made like a simple map and I just followed it. Yeah, the guy's a legend, so go look at his stuff if you're doing a van build. And for a few extra questions, Doug T asks, what are your top songs from the 60s? To be honest, my favourite song from the 60s is probably Sunshine, Lollipops and Rainbows by Leslie Gore. That song is a soundtrack to my life. I listen to it at least 4 times every morning. Puts me in a good mood. Do you think you could time travel back to the 60s and adjust to life without social media or the internet? Absolutely. I mean, I do rely on the internet, especially now, but it'd be interesting to go back to a time when it didn't exist, because personally I think it causes a lot more problems than it has ever solved. I named my kettle Phil. Thank you for all the beautiful suggestions. We had Gerald's, Jemima's, we had a lot of different names. I appreciate it. But I've gone with Phil, so thank you to Joseph for suggesting that. And the reason I chose Phil is because I can be like, fill her up when I want water in the kettle. Anyway, that answers a lot of questions I've been getting a lot. I thought they were the most interesting questions. I'm sure you guys have more. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. I might not always see them, but I'd rather people... Oh shit, that's big. I'd rather people just ask me instead of making assumptions. And anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Another one.